Good morning. Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about habits I want to say no to, my personal list. Additionally, we're going to go over some time frames. How long does it take to actually quit a bad habit? And what are just some pieces of truth that I've been working on that you can think about and journal about this morning to try and say no to the things that are holding us back to reaching our full potential. Enjoy the morning show. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Talk to Your Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercise to help make you the absolute best person you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning, everyone. Got to take a drink of. We've been juicing up our water. Just got this super fancy water bottle. It puts hydrogen into the water, and it gives it a really soft taste. I can't describe it. The company is Echo Go. You should sponsor me, please. I would really appreciate it. But so I should tag them in the show. But yeah, these fancy water bottles, disclosure, they're expensive for sure, but it makes the water taste really good. So I've been dabbling. The show's not about water, but I just had to give it a shout out because have you ever tried Fiji water and how it's like really soft and it tastes really good? It tastes like that, really, in a sense. But damn, yeah, it's really good. Anything to make water taste really good. I mean, your brain's 93% water, so we should probably be drinking a lot of that. But we're not talking about good habits today, like drinking healthy, clean water. We're talking about bad habits. And we're going to essentially start with a list of bad habits that I'm trying to quit. And these are habits that I want to get out of my life. I've really been curious and writing a lot more about this, like what's going on when I just say no to bad habits. I just naturally do the things that I want to be doing. But when I have explicit goals to say no to bad habits, but then I got a big to-do list of things I want to say yes to as well, I tend to get overwhelmed. Stuff doesn't get done. I feel stressed. I feel upset. And my quality of life just goes down. So I think there's a little bit of a secret sauce of certain days we can just focus on this principle of only quitting one thing at a time. So throughout the week this week, I'm going to put a list on here of bad habits, that my personal list, and then you just think of your own. So whatever habits that you have this morning, think of which ones you want to let go of, and then holding on to this principle of only getting rid of one at a time. So let's go ahead and go through the list. We're going to start with my personal list. So good morning. Thanks for tuning into this morning. We're going to be making a list of bad habits that we want to say no to, maybe over the next month, maybe over the next year. But I think it's a good idea to get started on this list a full month, say if you have New Year's resolutions or something like that, because it usually takes 2 weeks to 30 days. And giving time, we'll talk about that here in a little bit, how I've done really well with the 14 mark of building with either quitting or like doing something consistently. That's worked well with me. But let's go ahead, not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's start with a list. So habits that I want to say no to. So these are bad habits. The camera's a little low, but bad habits. And then our goal is to say no. Things we want to say no to. And remember, saying no to one thing one day at a time. So first one is watching football. Watching football, unfortunately, makes our list. So I want to quit this. And the cool thing, you can put caveats on it, like how much time restricted. So for watching football, only on weekends, max one game a day. Okay, that's kind of a lot of writing for our first habit. Good morning. But so the bad habit that we want to say no to is watching football, and I can only watch it on weekends. So Saturday and Sunday. and then max 1 game a day, just one. And these games are pretty long, so that's actually being really, really lenient. But what has been happening is I don't know how people do it. People have like games on in the background, they have TV on, and then they're working on their stuff. You know, these people, maybe that's something that you prefer to do. But I am not one of these people. I love it to be silent. I can't be distracted. If a TV's on, I can't fall asleep. I can't work on my work. It sucks. But the key thing is that doesn't change my personal situation, just like yours. So say if you're like me and you just get really distracted really easy, like I'm a bit of a squirrel, a bit of a space cadet. Oh, I can learn about this. Oh, I can do that. Oh, touchdown, they're scoring, they're doing this. And then you're all over the place. Well, then maybe just having it, isolating yourself, like me either being in my office, or we have all these cute spots in our house. I mean, shout out to my girlfriend. Love you, honey. Always making the house really beautiful and fun to work in. But like if the TV's on, I personally get distracted, but I'm not willing to totally give up. There's something about relaxing, and I'm not trying to work 24/7. So this is my moderation. This is what I'm talking about. So on the coming Saturday, I'll probably watch one of the college football games, just relaxing, maybe hopefully hanging out with one of my friends. And then on Sunday, I'll probably watch the Chiefs game, like one game, and then get off of it and then work on this. So, but absolutely nothing during the weekdays, nothing during the weekdays. But these are the things I want to say no to. I want to say no to, like yesterday, I watched a lot and I was trying to work, but I realistically didn't get a lot done for work. I was just kept looking back at the TV, looking at the back. I was like, man, I got to turn this stuff off and actually get to it. So when I actually turned it off, I got right into reading my book, and then I was back on track. So the TV's got to go. So that's my first one, watching football. That's the bad habit. The next one is sleeping in. Sleeping in. So I've been sleeping in a lot more lately, and it makes it a lot harder, especially when I don't have everything prepared for the following morning. Then I'm kind of scrambling around. Have you ever been in a rush in the morning? It makes it really hard to be present, to be happy, and to like experience joy, what we're really ultimately chasing. So the second one I want to say no to. So these are one day at a time. So today is absolutely no football. I'm not going to watch anything. I'm not going to watch anything on my phone. I'm not going to watch anything on the TV. Nothing. I'm going to say no. I'm going to build this muscle. I think there's a muscle in us called willpower that we can build on over time. So today I'm saying no. And then tomorrow I'm going to say no to sleeping in. I'm not going to sleep in. So I'm going to set up a certain time. I'm going to set up an alarm far away from the bed. I'm going to tell my girlfriend about it. I'm going to do everything to make everything around me as easy as possible. So it makes it harder for me to say no to sleeping in. So that'd be second on our bad habits. So what other bad habits do we want to not indulge in? And I would say smoking pot. Smoking pot. So I have nothing against marijuana. I think there's certain times, if my stomach hurts, I absolutely love marijuana. I will, every time I do one tiny little puff out of one of those little cigarette looking one hitters, preferably you get the one clear out of glass so you're not like smoking metal or something like that. That's not good for you. But you can get clear glass ones, tiny little ones. And then every time my stomach hurts, which I've always kind of had a sensitive stomach growing up as a kid, even into adulthood. And so if I smoke one little one hitter, like when my stomach hurts, it really helps. It makes me feel better. So smoking pot, I'm going to absolutely say no to that. And the only time my stomach hurt is when I eat total junk. Like this last weekend, the holidays, I ate a bunch of junk. So yeah, over the weekend, my stomach was like, ooh, T-Dog, you had some pie, you had like I had hot chocolate with my pie, with like hot cream, with whipped cream on it and stuff. It's like, yeah, dude, my stomach hurts. Go figure, right? And I ate a frozen pizza when I was watching football. Man, I love frozen pizza, but every time it riles my stomach up. A bunch of processed meat, processed cheese, processed bread. Go figure, right? Okay, but smoking pot is the point. So bad habits, the third one I want to quit is smoking pot. So over the next 3 days, the structure would be today, absolutely not watching football. And then after I don't watch any football, then I will add in tomorrow, I will not sleep in. And then after I don't sleep in, I will add not smoking pot. You see one thing, one day at a time. In the past, I always try to do too much too quickly. And then I get overwhelmed. I get frustrated. I get tired. And what do we do when we get tired? What do we do when we get frustrated? What do we do when we're not feeling great? Bam, right back to the bad habits every single time. You know, the cognitive juices, when the glass goes empty, we have the willpower is gone. And that's when people buy fast food. That's when people eat bad, unhealthy. That's when people, I don't need to work out today. That's when people skip drinking water and all the good stuff, right? But I believe just focusing on saying no is our message for today. So if there's anything today, I'm not, whatever I get done for work, awesome. That's great. And we'll see what naturally happens. But I am telling you, I'm not going to be watching any football. No distraction from it. No fantasy stuff. Nothing. And we'll see what happens. Because every time I say no, I just naturally do the stuff that I want to be doing anyway. It's so beautiful. And maybe this is a game of trial and error for yourselves. You start with, so what's a little more some process so we can have, so this is a bit more of a coaching exercise. So first, so how to say no to bad habits. First, start with a list. And then we pick the day and the time. So Monday, no football. Tuesday, plus add no sleeping in. Wednesday, no smoking pot. And then just adding them one thing at a time. Okay. Next is we got to give time. I think it's so easy to, and this is, I can only speak from personal experience, but between me and clients I've worked with, it's really easy for us to, we stop a bad habit for like 3 or 4 days and we start to feel a little good about it. And then something happens, we break the habit and we get back into it. And then we're so hard on ourselves. I know I'm personally really hard on myself. This inner critic, like, oh, you're back to it, you piece of crap. You suck. You're not doing anything with your life. Like all this negative talk that is just not true. It's like, okay, calm down, buddy. But for some reason, this internal dialogue can just so easily jump on our throats and make us feel like crap. So that's something I'm really trying to work on and help people with, help myself with. So we got to give time. And we got to say no to these things and stay consistent with it for at least 14 days for it to hit home. I know you probably heard like, oh, do a habit for 30 days and it's cemented. For me, if I love it and I really feel good, and for me, 14 days has been my cycle period, like with sleep, with just not smoking, getting rid of nicotine out of my life, not drinking alcohol. It's usually around that 14-day mark where I feel really, really good and I don't feel the cravings for it anymore. So to each their own, right? Maybe for you, it's 21 days. Maybe for you, it's 10 days. I don't know. You'll have to play around with it, but giving time, it takes a couple weeks to get really this stuff completely out of your system. And next up is quitting what you really want. So I believe I was getting tripped up on the ideal of being Superman and the reality of being Superman. And I don't want to work 24/7 until the day that I drop and I die. And I'm no longer on this planet. I'm old, I'm creaky, yada, yada. My youth is gone. And is quitting what you really want. So for me, I put that caveat on watching football, and be careful with caveats. Like, you know, just understand that there's a good chance that you could extend it or you could delve back into the bad habit that you're trying to avoid. But for me, watching one game like in a day on the weekends for football, I'm okay with that. A lot of times we have friends over. I get to hang out with my friends. One of my best friends moving down the road from me and just kicking around and having a good time. And that means a lot to me. And could I become a billionaire that much quicker if I did nothing else but work hard 24/7? The answer is yes, of course. But that's not the life I want to live. I like balance. I like somewhere in between. I want to continue to keep making progress. And I can do that by saying no to all these things when having like proper moderation. So that's why I'm a big proponent of this quit, then moderate. So if you're talking about like, I had to quit alcohol for over 100 days to really see what it was doing for me, to see the benefits of it, to see the cons of it, to really see how much energy it was I was losing, and like, how do I really feel when I don't have this in my body at all? And I came to the conclusion I'm okay with drinking like 3 to 4 times a year, like every couple months, have a beer here, or there, or, even honestly, my frequency has been around about once a month or so. And it's just like a beer or two. I did get pretty juiced up on my birthday, I'll be totally honest with you. And that was really fun. We had a bunch of people flying in from out of state. I had the time of my life. It was really, really fun. But doing that all the time definitely dampers my energy. But giving it up completely, it's like, is that what I really want? Because those social situations, they're hard to simulate without alcohol. I get it. You can have those types of parties without it, but is that what I really want? And that's why I really like this question of like, is quitting what you really want? So sleeping in, and is my life like bad because I slept in some days? I would say no. But is it what I really want to be doing with my time? And I would say no to that as well. So it's hard. It's each person to each habit, right? We just doing some questioning, some honest answering, and I think we can come up with a nice plan, like slow, step by step, because going back to start with just one at a time. And these were the ones that I came up with. So I'm going to quit. And then like smoking pot, I'm really only going to do it. I will break this. If I have a bad stomach ache, I will smoke, because it's weird. When I smoke, when I don't have a stomach ache, it makes me like my head really like that much faded and I can't work on anything. But if I have a stomach ache and I smoke, then it's like it only really numbs my stomach and not so much my head, and I continue to like work on what it is I need to work on. I don't know if it's because it's only like numbing one pain, or like the intensity is diminished because I am actually in pain. I don't know, it's weird. I don't have the right words to describe it, but whenever I'm smoking pot, I can tell you I'm not working on my business. That's pretty much guaranteed. I'm probably not going to be doing much of anything productive. I can do yard work pretty good. I can do, I can clean the house. I can wash some dishes when I'm stoned. But like really retaining information, such as reading hard literature, writing stuff for the shows, or just trying to like engage and work with clients in like a coaching session or something, no way. So that's why I'm quitting smoking pot. I have nothing against it. I think it's great medicine, because that Tylenol aspirin crap just destroys your gut bacteria, and I think it's garbage. But I'm also not a doctor, so don't take my word for it. I'm just on my own research and how I feel. That stuff's. I'd much rather just smoke a tiny little bit of a flower, dissipate the pain, and then like go back to what I was trying to, or just relax and watch one of those football games like we were talking about. But this was how I'm breaking bad habits. This is just a structure that's been working really well for me. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Leave a comment on this video of what bad habit that you want to quit over the next 30 days, over the next week, and then see if you can just start on that. Forget everything else and just make sure that you quit that one habit today, that you've won today, and you can give yourself permission to enjoy today. That's what I'm doing. Whatever happens today, amazing, right? But as long as I don't watch football, it is a dubski. And then I'll come back on here tomorrow and I'll tell you what happened. But if what has happened in the past continues to stay true, when I just do not indulge in the bad habit that I'm trying to focus on, I naturally do the good work that I need to get done for the day. And I always feel better. I'm in a state of giving myself permission to just enjoy and be living the good life now. not waiting until I reach some goal down the future. And then it's like, oh, wait, it was about the moment the whole time. Go figure. So these are the bad habits I'm trying to quit. Football, sleeping in, and smoking pot. Get rid of that stuff and then see what it can do for the rest of my life. But cheers, friends. Thanks for letting me share. And in case you needed to hear it, I love you. You're a badass. Let's quit one bad habit today and then build some momentum going into tomorrow. And I will see you all bright and early, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time with episode 407 of the Talk to Taryn Morning Show, where we're going to go over I got another famous person I'm doing some readings from. So tune in to get some key takeaways from that. But cheers, friends. You guys have a great day. Quit those bad habits and leave a comment of the habit that you're trying to quit below. Appreciate it so much. Catch you on the next one. Peace.